what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the mayor here, Heath, sharing with another installment of the 3-minute videos. And this week, we're talking about a topic that is difficult for some to talk about, some don't want to talk about, some don't want to do it, and that's role playing. And today, we're going to be talking about specifically on how to embrace role playing. And I'll admit, this is something that I haven't always enjoyed doing myself because I would get nervous, or I'd have a hard time putting myself in the position, or I would say it's not real. But I've embraced it now and gotten to the place where I recognize how much it helps me in my own sales process. And, some of the things I want to talk to you about today are just some strategies and some tips that can help you to embrace the role playing. And some of the biggest things here to recognize for me is, even though it's role playing, it doesn't make it a night at the improv where it's just completely off the cuff, off the script. Yeah, there's no script on role playing. It's more of going back and forth and playing off your partner. But there is an element you can study for this, and you can be prepared. And I would say that's the number one thing you've got to do when you're embracing role playing, is knowing your product, knowing the process of how it works, and being prepared. Whether it's going into role playing on a sales situation, you can still study the actual product, know the ins and outs, and maybe be prepared. If you've been on calls for years, for sales calls, you know what objections are going to come up. And so you want to make sure that you write some of those down. And if you don't know, Google some objections, write some of those down, and be prepared on how to answer those and how to solve those objections. If it's a process thing that you're, doing a role play on, make sure you know that process. What happens from here, and that triggers here, and that triggers this, how that all works, so that you can be prepared and know what's going to happen next. That's going to help you take a deep breath, to relax, and to understand the role-playing aspect of it. You want to make sure you're impressive. Like I said, you want to study those things so that you know what's going to come next and how to impress your boss, or how to impress the audience, how to impress your partner on the other end, how to impress yourself more than anything, so that you can be ready for a live situation. If you've done your studying, if you know your product, you know the process, I think you're going to be okay there. And also, with impressive, dress for the event like it is live. That's another way you can be impressive, is to dress for this success of this, and not just come into it because it's not a live sale. You come in with sweatpants and a t-shirt, or, you don't shower that day, you're not prepared mentally. I think all of those things go into being impressive altogether. Don't wing it. That's another one. Number 3 on that is just to not wing it. Don't come into it saying, no big deal, I'm not going to worry about it. You want to make sure that you've got maybe some bullet points written out to help you. You've thought this through. You've worked in the mirror on this. You've recorded yourself. You're truly 100% prepared, because otherwise you're wasting not only your time, but the partner or your boss's time, or your team's time, because somebody else on the team may be watching you to be prepared for their own time out in a live situation. They want to come learning from you. And then the other thing I want to say is, come with questions that you want to explore. If you get stuck in a situation, be prepared to stop and say, okay, I've got a question on this, or I'm stumped here in the role-playing process. What should I say here? How can I do that? Because this is a way for you to improve and get better. So look for this opportunity for you to have questions ready and explore certain objectives or objections, or processes, procedures, products, things of that nature. Be prepared and have some questions written out so that you can obviously make yourself and your team better. I really hope this has helped. We got to get beyond the fear of role playing and embrace it. If that's you, hopefully this video has helped. I'll see you in the next one.
So there's one thing that I'm committed to solving as I turn 40, which is eradicating the word busy from insurance agencies. So often, so many times, we're not hitting our agency's potential just because our team is busy. And sometimes they're busy doing the wrong things. They're over-servicing the least desirable clients, or they're not sure how to manage email and tasks, so they're just working off of 5 different places. Or inevitably, they're taking too many payments, which the carriers can take. There's about 10 different core issues that agencies face with time management, and lo and behold, we have just revamped our time management course to tackle each one by one for your team. What I've found in my experiences is that when agencies feel like there's a little bit more time in the day, the cross-selling increases, the follow-ups on new business explode, and ultimately your team turnover is lower because they're not as stressed. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, how does time management help me grow my agency? It helps you avoid all the obstacles that you're spending too much time on, such as putting out fires. And when your team is working uniformly and collectively and can do this thing, which is raise their hand and ask for help, and you as a leader have metrics to manage backlog, you can dive in and be more productive and efficient for your clients. So it's been said that all of our programs hinge on time management. If you can nail down time management, you can make renewal calls. You can have a better closing ratio. You can run your agency more efficiently and effectively. And that's what I've solved in this course. I hope that you become a student. I hope that you subscribe to our courses, because if your team meetings are lagging and your team needs access to great knowledge, our courses are the answer. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started moving your team from busy to effective. And let's go ahead and eradicate that B word from all of our agencies. Have fun and let's go kill it, guys. We want to make your agency ridiculously amazing. And all that starts out with efficiency and effectiveness in your client experience. What are you waiting for? Let's go do it.